In my hopes to have you join this living more intentionally and slowing down journey, I wanted to share how I've been actually practicing this in my life through just really intentional reading. And the first book that I actually did this with is Tale of Two Cities. I got this really cool version that's from like 1925. I love old books and I've actually been collecting them this year. So the two things that I approached differently with this book was focusing on annotating more. In the past, I've always annotated books for probably the first 5 to 10 pages, and then I just stopped. So I tried very intentionally to make sure I always had a pen. I didn't go too overboard. See, just kind of put some notes here and there, circled characters, things I thought I might want to go back to, and highlighted a little bit. And that worked out great. The other, not quite as effective. So the other thing that I was trying to do was take notes about it in my notebook, because I was like, I'm always gonna have this around, this is perfect. But I just used this same notebook that I've been putting everything in, and that turned out maybe not to be the best idea. I did come into a bit of a problem there, because while I have lots of notes and lots of quotes, they're extremely disorganized, and I didn't even write the book or author next to the quotes. I just wrote the page number. I thought I would be able to remember what it was from. It's very wrong. Next time, I have gotten a separate notebook. It's a bit bigger, give me a little more freedom and room. Write down characters and everything. And then when I'm out, this is too big to carry with me. So when I'm out, I can still write things down in this journal. And then when I get back home, same day, transfer my notes into this one, and this will just be book notes, and I think that's going to work out much better for me. Just 2 quotes that I did write down that I can actually definitely identify as belonging to this book. The leprosy of unreality disfigured every human creature in attendance. And honestly, that's just a really good summary of Tale of Two Cities. I believe that one was during a royal party, which was one of the last times we see any of the royal characters in France, any of the aristocracy. And it was kind of just talking about how disconnected they were from just the reality of life to everyone around them. 150 years later, that's still pretty accurate. The nice thing about slowing down is just being able to sit back and be like, this obviously applies to now, but maybe we have like the obvious example, but then kind of thinking about it and be like, okay, but are there any books that this relates to? And as a not very literary reference, I was definitely giving some of the Hunger Games ruling class. I'm going to do a quick 1-minute review of the book and just kind of share some of the ideas that stood out to me. When I got to the end of the book, and this actually was a thought that kept recurring to me throughout, Dickens has, not surprisingly, honestly, a complicated view of the French Revolution, just with the common folk in general, both in Britain and France. There was a really weird scene with commoners like chasing a hearse that mirrored a revolutionary depiction. There were occasions where the book showed some like sympathy and understanding with the French revolutionaries, but honestly those were pretty limited and would often be very quickly followed by just horrendous things. If you are not into reading about beheadings, skip this one, but that's also kind of a given with the French Revolution. And the other thing I really liked, pacing was fantastic. It had a lot of exposition in the beginning and there are a lot of characters, but by the end especially, like it was one beat after the next, to the point that when I was in the last like 100 pages, I just like sat down and had to finish it. So I would say I would give this book a check plus. I'm really glad that this was a book that I just like took the time to slow down and appreciate, and I really think it gave me the chance just to like process more and get some more insights into it. So I'm looking forward to further developing that.